Hello, and welcome to another Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness YouTube video. My name is Lillian, and welcome to the Prep family. Before we get into the video, I must warn you that this video is not for the casual seed haul viewer. This video is designed specifically for gardeners, preppers, and homesteaders who are about that plant life. Only those on a serious journey for self-sufficiency by growing their own food will make it to the end of this video. This video is not for the easily distracted. You really have to be about that prepping plant life for this video to motivate you to grow your own. One day I sat down at my kitchen table and made a list of all the action tasks I needed to complete for my family's emergency preparedness prepping plan. These 11 action tasks are the result of that day. This video in particular, this seed haul video, ties directly into Action Task 9, How Does Your Garden Grow? My daughter and I are extremely excited to restart our garden in our new home location. All of the seeds shown in this video were specifically selected to grow well in our Zone 4B garden. During the months of July and August of 2021, I started purchasing seeds from Baker Creek, Rare Seeds, In My Gardener, and Seed Savers Exchange. I wanted to get ahead of any possible seed shortages for my 2022 spring garden. Now, even though I have a 2-hour video full of seeds, in this video, many of the seeds I wanted to purchase were out of stock. I will order those seeds that were out of stock around Christmas, along with my root plants for the spring garden of 2022. If you would like to share in our garden journey, please click the subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you are notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and welcome to the Prep family. Alright, so our first seeds we have here are green globe artichokes. And I have 4 packs of green globe artichokes. I have 2 from In My Gardener, and I have 2 from Seed Savers Exchange. The artichokes are cold tolerant plants. And what you're harvesting is the flower, which is the part right here. You can pull the petals off and scrape off part of the meat with your teeth, and then you can also harvest the choke. I'm looking forward to growing these green globe artichokes, and I have a lot of seeds. This pack has, how many in it? This pack has 25 in it. You can see it right there. Let me turn it that way. You can see it says 25 seeds. So that's 150 seeds right there. And then this has 40 seeds for that pack. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually only going to plant 6 plants of this, because 6 plants will become huge, take up a lot of space in your garden, and you'll get about 5 to 6 chokes per year. Now, the important thing to know about artichokes is, for my Zone 4B garden, there are only 2 varieties that I know of that I can grow where I live, and that's the the Imperial Star and the Green Globe. They were the only 2 that will put out a fruit during the first year, or a bloom, since this is a flower. These are the only 2 that will put out a bloom in the first year so that you can harvest it. So first I have green globe artichokes. All right, next we'll get into the beans, and I have several beans. I'm a bean lover. We eat a lot of beans in our house. And my mom used to make what I call the $3 meal. She would get a bag of beans, some ham hocks, and a box of Jiffy cornbread, and we could eat off that for days. you know, growing up poor on food stamps, my mom made a lot of beans. So beans are one of my favorite. And I also store a lot of my beans in my food storage. So first we have the black turtle beans. And these are black beans. And black beans are delicious in everything. I can't think of nothing black beans are not delicious in. And I eat a lot of beans, and I'm looking forward to making these. And these have a dark purple black, used in a lot of Latin American, Mexican dishes. Looking forward to that one. All right. Let's see what else is on my list. All right, so we got Blue Lake bush beans. This is a common variety. Lots of videos on YouTube about this. Everybody seems to be growing this Blue Lake bush bean. And I got these from Baker Creek, as you can see, and I'm looking forward to growing these as well. And I also got a Blue Lake pole bean. So the difference between a bush bean and a pole bean is the bush beans grow shorter. They grow to a determinate height and they stop. Pole beans you have to trellis and help support, and they grow up as long as, you know, 10 feet. I've seen some videos on YouTube where they grow up to 10 feet. So I have Blue Lake bush beans, and I also have Blue Lake pole beans from MI Garden. So I have that. I have some Calypso beans. Now these beans are delicious and beautiful. As you can see from the picture here, it has a black and white texture and structure. I'm looking forward to growing these. They are very exciting and delicious to grow. And these are a pole bean as well. These are not a bush bean. So they have that black and white seeds. I'm going to dry these out and store these for cooking. Probably put these in some chili. It seems like these would be great to go in chili as well. Alright. And then I have some cannellini beans. Cannellini beans. These are delicious. Common beans. You can find these at the store. Not that much special about these. And then I have some cow peas or black-eyed peas. So they're called a cow pea, but in, you know, African American culture, we consider them a bean. And we make black-eyed peas with smoked ham hocks, some onions, a little seasoning, garlic. Oh, tear these up. So I'm looking forward to growing my own black-eyed peas and eating them fresh and eating them dried. So I plan on putting a lot of these in the ground next year. All right. So next we have these beautiful Jacob Cattle bush beans. And look how beautiful these are. These are absolutely gorgeous. I plan on making baked beans with these bush beans. And that should be delicious. I got these from Baker Creek too. And they are a very delicious variety. I love that maroon and beige texture on these. They're going to be great. I look forward to cooking those. Next we have lima beans. So they call these black-eyed peas too, as opposed to the cow peas, because they have that little black eye. But technically these are lima beans, but they're Alabama black-eye butter beans, but they're technically lima beans. They're in the genus of the lima bean, which is, let me look at my spreadsheet, which is Phaseolus latunus. So these are Phaseolus latunus, which is in the genus of the lima bean, as opposed to this is a cow pea, which is in the genus of Phaseolus vulgaris. All right, so that's the difference. But these are delicious as well. I'm looking forward to growing these and tasting these as well. All right, next we have more lima beans, and this is a Fort Hook 242 lima bean. This is very common on YouTube as well. A lot of gardeners grow these because they are very prolific and delicious. You get a lot out of this. You put this in the ground, you're gonna get your money's worth, and it's not gonna take up real estate and not give you good production. All right. And then next we have another bean, which is a Henderson lima bean. I'm looking forward to this as well. This is also a very good producing lima bean. gives you a lot of production. So when you spend your time gardening, you'll get a lot out. All right. So I am going to band up some of these because I'm running out of space. You guys can't see how many packets I have down here, but I'm going to band up some of these so that I can have more room to talk to you about. And I have my rubber bands at the ready so I can band things up as needed. All right, so that was those beans. So we'll continue on. Next, I have navy beans. Navy beans are delicious, good, delicious white bean, common variety, nothing special about these. So I'm looking forward to growing these as well. Next is pinto beans. You know, what can you say about pinto beans? Pinto beans is the staple, it's the GOAT, it's the old school variety. Everything about a pinto bean is delicious. Just a common variety. Looking forward to putting these down in the garden. All right. Next we have another green bean, which is Aroma 2 green bean, very popular variety. Lots of people on YouTube growing these, and I'm looking forward to growing these as well. Like the other green beans, it's very prolific and grows a lot. So you'll get a lot of production out of that. Next is the Scarlet Runner bean. I'm looking forward to seeing the flowers on these. These come up with a bright red flower, and I'm so looking forward to seeing that beautiful flower when it pops up, because it brings in the bees too. I watched a gentleman's video on YouTube. He planted these Scarlet Runner beans, and they were, very prolific. They grew everywhere. He put down 6 plants on each side of his cattle pound trellis, and they just bloomed and bloomed and bloomed. He had so many beans, he didn't know what to do with them. But the flowers too, for me, was just so beautiful in the garden, you know, because most fruits put off a flower, and his flowers was just perfect. He had great soil conditions to grow these. All right, so that's the end of my beans. So I'm gonna band some more of these up. I got my rubber bands at the ready here. I'll put those to the side. And I got some more bean packets here. Alright, stick those artichokes on the side, and I'm going to band those up as well. Alright, so let's move on to our beets. And beets are delicious. Beets are good for clearing up the blood, and I love to juice them. I juice a lot of beets. So I got 3 different types of beets. The first beet I got was the bull's blood beet from M.I. Gardner, and it's a typical beet. You'll see a lot of people growing this one on the internet as well. The next beet I got is a Detroit dark red beet. I got that one from Seed Savers Exchange. Same thing, it's a historic variety beet. That was old school beet, so I like this, and it's organic as well. And I also got the Ruby Queen beet, and this is another delicious beet. It's good for juicing, good. It's a larger beet, so I look forward to growing this, but it's a common beet as well. So these are my 3 beet varieties, and I'm looking forward to growing these as well. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the broccolis. I think I got 3 varieties of broccoli. I got the Calabrese broccoli from Seed Savers Exchange. I got the Artichoke broccoli from Seed Savers Exchange, and I got the common Waltham 29 broccoli from M.I. Gardner. These are all good varietals. I love broccoli. Broccoli is everything in my house. We use broccoli on everything. Cheese broccoli soup, side dish, chicken broccoli bag, pasta broccoli bag. We use broccoli for everything. And I'm looking forward to growing these as well. This variety is gives a nice size head, but not as big as the Walt Whitman you will get. This is the common what you find in the grocery store. Most of the grocery store broccoli is Calabrese broccoli. The Artichoke broccoli is more woody, more stemmy, grows a little smaller head. And then the Waltham broccoli is a common variety broccoli that you find in most grocery stores as well. So these are my 3 varieties of broccoli. I'm looking forward to growing those as well. Next is my Brussels sprouts. I only got 1 variety of Brussels sprouts, which was the Long Island Improved from Seed Savers Exchange. I was looking forward to growing these. I have been watching quite a few Brussels sprout videos to see how they grow. Most people are not having success with their Brussels sprouts, and they grow up real woody and stemmy. So I have been watching a lot of videos to see how to get the nice, big, tight Brussels sprouts you get from the grocery store. So I'm looking forward to trying these out the first year and see if I can get better production than I see most people have. All right, so next we're going to get into the cabbages. I got a lot of cabbage because I love cabbage. I love fried cabbage. I love sauerkraut on a Polish. Good Usinger Polish, or here we go. So we got a couple cabbages. I got the Danish ball head cabbage, which is a delicious, nice sized cabbage. Very reliable cabbage. It will bolt, so not recommended for hot weather. About 5 to 7 pounds on this one. And then I have an early Jersey Wakefield cabbage. This is a old school variety cabbage. It is fast maturing and a great choice for the home gardener like me. And it has a pointy shaped head. So if you kind of look, you'll see that the head is a little different. Hopefully I'm focusing that right. And it has a pointy shaped head, but fantastic flavor. So I'm looking forward to growing this one as well. And these are all from MI Gardener, as you can see. The next is a late flat Dutch variety. This has like 10 to 15 pounds. This one can get kind of big, kind of huge. And the heads, you know, are massive. So it has a longer growing season than the other ones that don't get as big. And I'm looking forward to this one too. And I'm not going to plant all of these cabbages at the same time. I'll probably pick 2 greens and a red and plant those. So the next is a Napa cabbage. Kind of an odd shaped cabbage, grows straight up. And it has a wide crunchy stem that is also delicious. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. And then I had to get some red cabbage because why not? And red cabbage is delicious. So this red acre cabbage is a good tight head. It's resistant to cabbage yellow disease because of the color, and the heads grow about 7 inches across, and it's a smaller cabbage. It weighs about 3 pounds. So I'm looking forward to adding this to some coleslaw. All right, and the next is a Savoy cabbage. This is a common cabbage as well. It's a French cabbage. Weighs about 7 to 8 pounds. And look at the texture. So this is what you buy this cabbage for, because the rest of the cabbage has smooth leaves like this red acre, but this Savoy cabbage is very textured and delicious, and I'm looking forward to tasting that as well. So that is all of my cabbages. So I will get these band up. Okay. And next we'll go into the carrots. All right. And as you can see, I buy a lot of common varieties. I didn't get too wild and crazy on what I bought because I like to grow what I normally eat. And if I'm not normally eating something, I don't care to take up real estate in my yard. My yard isn't that big, so I need to grow what I know I'm going to eat. So we grow... All of these seeds are for us to replace the grocery store with. So we plan on doing that. Plus, I like to garden. It's a beautiful activity. It's good for exercise. And it gives you a connection to your food. Because a lot of people think that you just stick a seed in the ground and it grow up. It's a lot to learn about gardening. And this is why I'm sharing my journey with you. And my seeds in great detail like I'm doing today. Just in case somebody is inspired by my journey and wants to start their own, they can use my roadmap free of charge. All right. Next is the Denver carrots. This is a common variety carrot. It's absolutely delicious. It has bright orange color, perfect for heavy soil or if you have a clay soil, but it's also a good canning carrot. All right. Next is the imperator carrot. It's a long carrot, as you can see. It's a super long carrot. It's sweet, delicious, good for cutting up, and good for canning as well. And then I have the scarlet mantis carrot. This is also a long carrot and common carrot grown by many in the gardening community. It grows 6 to 7 inches as well, so it's just as long as our friend here, the imperator carrot, and it's also good for canning and storage. So these are my 3 carrot varieties. All right. Next is cauliflower. I only got 1 cauliflower variety so far, and it is the snowball because this grows well in my zone 4B garden. So, and unless it grows well here, it doesn't come because I have such a short growing season. I think my growing season is only 144 days. I have to get stuff that grows well where I live. All right, next is celery. I thought I had more celery than this. Okay, maybe not. I got the Utah tall celery. It's a delicious celery. I think that grows to about 7 to 8 inches tall. And growing celery could be tough to grow, but if you follow suggestions and give it some good fertilizer and a good compost when you plant it, it'll do fine. But celery also has a long growing season. So you got to start this indoors about 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost date. So this is when I'll sow early, say early March, I'll be sowing this inside. All right. Or seed starting it inside. Okay, so next we have our corn. And we have a lot of corn. And most of my corn is open pollinated. And when you have open pollinated organic corn, you cannot grow all of these different varieties at the same time. I would have to pick one variety and plant that. And then when I plant it, I have to make sure that I cover the corn seals as they develop. I live in a corn belt, so I don't know what my neighbors are growing. So my corn can cross-pollinate and the seeds that come out won't be true to type. And I want to keep my corn true to type. So you're going to see me taking a lot of drastic measures, like covering the corn silks and the stalks, to make sure that I can keep my corn open pollinated and true to type. So let's go over the different types of corn that I got. The first corn is it's kind of hard to hold. The first corn is a blue Hopi corn. It is a popcorn and it's delicious. It's a short growing corn. I'm looking forward to growing it, and I want to see that fantastic dark blue color come out of this corn. I think this would be delicious and interesting as well. It's a sweet corn. All right. The next corn I have is I'm going to talk about the early Fisher Streets. So the early Fisher Street is a standard SU corn, sweet corn, and I'm looking forward to this. This is an old school corn, been around for years. Looking forward to growing this. I'll probably start with the early, the Fisher's earliest corn will probably be the first corn I plant. And then next I'm going to do the Golden Batham. So I'm looking forward to that. This is an SU corn as well. If you know your varietals, you know what SU stand for. I'll probably pop something up on the screen to explain it. But this is a SU corn as well. So I'm looking forward to growing this. This is a prolific producer. You get about 3 to 4 ears per stock. So this is a good, but also a heavy feeder when you plant in the garden. So you have to make sure you give lots of fertilization when you plant this. Okay. This is a popcorn. I'm looking forward to this Tom Thumb popcorn. I got this one from Seed Savers Exchange as well. It's a short cob corn. It grows well. It seems like it's a dwarf plant, so you get 1 or 2 ears per stock, and each ear is about 4 inches long according to Seed Savers Exchange. So I'm looking forward to growing this one as well. So those are my corns, and I will get those banded up. All right. Make sure I got all my corns here. Okay. These in here too. So I'm gonna get all of this banded up and put away. These in here too. So I'm gonna get all of this banded up and put it away. And then we'll go into my cucumbers. I got quite a few cucumbers as well. All right, so let me see. Yeah, I got quite a few cucumbers. That's an eggplant. Okay. Okay. So next we have my cucumbers. I got quite a few cucumbers. One, I love cucumbers and I love pickles. Pickles, relish, cucumbers, delicious. So the first cucumber I got is the AC pickling cucumber. This is a, the go-to cucumber. This one is supposed to be disease resistant. So I picked this varietal up for those characteristics. It grows 7 to 8 inches long and it's great for fresh eating. The next one I got is Ashley. The Ashley also grows 7 to 8 inches long. It's kind of fat cucumber and it's also delicious. The next one is the Early Fortune from Seed Savers Exchange. This gets really dark green and it's a basic cucumber. It's good for pickling, canning, and eating fresh. So then I got the standard Market More 76. This is a standard variety cucumber. A lot of people grow this one. This gets dark green as well, but it also has like those little thorns on them. Most cucumbers has those little, you can see it here, those little thorns on them. But this is a standard variety cucumber as well, the Market More 76. Next I got the National Pickling Cucumber. And then I got 2 packs of these as well. No, second pack. Oh, here it is. Next I got the National Pickling Cucumber. And I got 2 packs of this as well. And it's a standard variety cucumber. Good for canning and making butter pickles with this. So I'm going to be doing that. Alright, next is the Space Master 80. So the Space Master 80 is also a long, slender, dark green cucumber. This is a bush variety cucumber as well. And the fruit will reach 7 to 8 inches in length. And the vines are trained to grow in smaller spaces. This is great if you got a small garden or want to put this one in a pot. This is a good one for that. All right, and then I have the Straight 8 cucumbers. The name says it all. It grows really straight, produces a long fruit, deep bright green skin, and it vines. So this one also needs a lot of trellising as well. So those are all of my cucumbers. And if you notice, I got 2 packs of every seed. The reason I did that is so the first pack is for me to test. And the reason I want to test is we're in a new spot. So when you move to a new house, you got your zone, but you also have your city climate, and your garden will create its own microclimate. So if I mess up these seeds, practicing and learning how to grow it the first year, then I have a backup pack that I can really grow and save seeds from. So I got 2 packs of everything, and you'll notice that as we go through. Okay, so next are the eggplants. I got 2 varieties of eggplants. I got the Black Beauty eggplant and I got the Diamond eggplant. And you can see the difference in the eggplants here. The first one is a short, more pear-like shaped eggplant, and this diamond eggplant is more long and straight. This is the dark classic eggplant that you see at the grocery store, about 4 to 5 inches long, got nice shiny dark purple color, Italian variety. And then the diamond eggplant is also a dark purple eggplant, but it grows 9 inches long in diameter and about 3 inches in diameter. And this is a very delicious eggplant variety, so I'm looking forward to trying these two eggplant varieties. So those are my eggplant varietals. Okay, next is fennel. I only got one type of fennel, and it's the Florence fennel. This is great. Fennel has a nice, what I want to say, it tastes like fennel. So it's great. I put it in juices. I eat it on salads. It's great with apples. And it has like an anise, like licorice taste to it. It's great with salads. Great in soups. I also like to put this fennel in my chicken pot pies. So people are like, what's that taste? This is what it is. It's great in your chicken pot pies or your chicken noodle soup. Very good, healthy for you. All right. Next, we're going to talk about our flower family. Now, I got these out of order. Okay. So next, we're going to talk about our flower family. So I have a lot of flowers here, but the flowers that I have is for the purpose of companion planting. And in your garden, it's good to companion plant your flowers. Flowers help plants. They either deter an animal, they have some type of synthetic root growth that benefits the plant, they offer natural support. So like for sunflowers, you can grow your beans up there, so they offer natural support for plants and flowers growing tall, lending themselves to help things grow in your garden. Some plants optimize the soil. They help the root system that can add nitrogen or some other type of nutrients back into the soil. Some plants, companion flowers, they prevent weeds and help. They provide ground cover so that the weeds can't grow up. And then they also provide shade. So if you have like a tall flower and you want to put that next to something that needs some type of shade during the day, like lettuce, so it doesn't bolt, companion plants are good for that. So I have quite a few companion plants here. So the first one we're going to talk about is nasturtium. Now I have several varieties of nasturtium, as you can see, and nasturtium is great for several things. For me, I'm using nasturtium as a trap crop. I want to attract the bugs away from my cucurbits and onto my nasturtiums. So for the varietals that I have 4 packs of peach melba, and I have 4 because I accidentally over-ordered, and that's where that seed inventory spreadsheet video comes in handy, so that you don't order 4 packs of the same flower. It's not that many in here. I think it's only like 25 seeds, so I have 100 nasturtium plants of the peach melba. All right, and I have 2 packs of this beautiful Alaska red nasturtium. I have 2 packs of the beautiful Yeti nasturtium, and that's good. And then, like I said, nasturtium is good for attracting the caterpillars away from your cucurbits. It keeps them off your watermelon, it keeps them off your pumpkins, and things like that. So this is what nasturtium is good for. It's good for a trap plant to trap the bugs away from your actual vegetables. Okay, so next we got petunias. Okay, so like I was saying, it has a beautiful plant mix here, a beautiful color mix here, But petunias are great companion plants for brassicas, beans, basils, tomatoes, grapes, and peppers. And if you plant roses, it also is very beneficial for your roses as well. So I'll be planting those. Right here I have a black Russian sunflower. This, if I'm not mistaken, is a mammoth sunflower. Let me look at the back of this and it'll say, yes, Harvest Mammoth Sunflower. This is a giant sunflower. And I also have on my wait list some other regular size sunflowers that only grow to like 6 feet. But I think this is a 12-foot sunflower. So it'll be interesting to plant this to see how this grows as a mammoth sunflower. A lot of the sunflowers were sold out, so I didn't have a chance to order a lot of them. But this is the black Russian sunflower, and it grows up to 12 feet. Let me look at this. No, it says it grows up to 15 to 18 inches wide, 15 to 18 inches wide and 12 feet tall. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it says. All right, so those are all my flowers I have so far. And we will get these eggplants and the rest of these flowers bent up. Alright, next is my greens, and I only have one green so far. I wanted to get some red winter wheat. I wanted to get some yellow wheat. I wanted to get some barley. I wanted to get some rye. I wanted to get the 7 grains that were in the Ezekiel bread, but they didn't have any of that in stock. So the only thing they had was rice. So I got some of the long grain rice. And this is, you say, oh, you're going to plant rice in your garden. You don't need a rice paddy to grow rice. You don't have to flood your yard to grow rice. The only reason they flood the rice paddy is to suppress the weeds. But you can grow this long grain rice in your backyard just like you would any other grain, which is like your corn. Your corn is a grass, rice is a grass, and any other grain you put in your backyard. So I'm looking forward to trying to grow my own long grain rice. I'm going to teach myself how to thatch this so I can separate the rice from the plant. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be very interesting as I learn how to do that. And I think that'll make a interesting video showing how I thatch my rice or separate the seed from the stalk. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, next we have our greens, and I have a lot of greens because we eat a lot of greens. My first green are champion collards, and I think I have 4 of those. I have 4 of those because, again, I over-ordered. And so now that I have the spreadsheet, it'll prevent me from doing that again. But I have 4 packs of champion collards. I'm looking forward to those. Common collard green as well. I have 2 packs of Georgian Southerns. Now, I'm very excited about these Georgian Southerns because I watched a young lady, I can't think of her name right now, but I'll put it down below. She grew these Georgian Southerns, and I was so enamored by her video. I made sure I added those to my list, so I got those. All right, next is our Beet collards. Again, this was a product of me over-ordering, so I had 4 Beet collard greens, and now that I have the spreadsheet, I can keep track of what I do have, and it'll prevent this double ordering in the future. If you haven't had a chance to watch my seed inventory video, I will link it at the end, and you can check that out, and it shows you in detail all the seeds that I'm presenting today. All right, so I got my Beet collards. Next are my kales, and I ordered 2 types of kale, 2 varieties. So I have the blue curled Scotch kale and the lacto dinosaur kale. We use a lot of kale in my house. We like to juice it. We like to eat it. We do everything with kale. We'll put it in kale. What's that white bean kale soup we make, Sadie? Tuscan white bean kale soup, I think it's called. Oh, I make a mean Tuscan white bean kale soup. A Tuscan white bean kale soup. It is fire. It is fire. And we will use this kale for that as well. We love kale. So I got the 2 varieties of the blue curl Scotch and the lacto dinosaur. And both of these came from M.I. Gardner. All right, this was a free seed that I got from Seed Savers Exchange. I'm sorry, from Baker Creek. When you order from Baker Creek, they offer you a free seed. And I got this from Baker Creek, and it was the Kamosuto. It's like a mustard green. So it's comparable to a mustard green, but it's a Japanese mustard green. All right. Next, we have our everyday mustard greens, and I got some bird mustard. I'm looking forward to planting this and see how this grows up as well. Right. Next, we have spinach. I ordered some Norfolk spinach, and on my wait list, I have an American spinach that I have on a wait list that I want to get as well. So I got the Norfolk spinach is my only variety at this time, but I do have on the wait list some American spinach as well. I got two types of chard, Swiss chard. I got the rhubarb Swiss chard from M.I. Gardner, and I got the 5-colored beet Swiss chard from Seed Savers Exchange, and looking forward to eating the greens on these as well. All right, so that ends my green section. We're gonna move on to, I think the herbs are next, so we're gonna do that next. All right, so next we're gonna talk about some of our herbs. I'll move these in closer. Let's see here. We got quite a few herbs, so all right. Okay. So the first herb I have is the common anise. And this is a delicious herb, and I'm looking forward to growing it as well. It's a Mediterranean herb. It's good for salads, has a good strong flavor. People use it to flavor applesauces, cakes, and other like baked goods. It's a great addition to your herb garden. So, and this is good. I'm gonna grow this in a container. So that's the first herb, the anise. The second is lemon balm. I have 2 packs of this as well. It's an heirloom herb, grows much like mint. Not as invasive, but I'm gonna put this in a container too. Most of my herbs I'm gonna grow in a container. This helps with, it's for medicinal uses. It helps with symptoms of anxiety, depression, and a common cold. It's a good, it's loaded with antioxidants and vitamins, so it's good in tea as well. All right. Next, I have bee balm. I have a lot of notes on this bee balm. The one thing I did make sure that I noted about this bee balm was that it was very, very invasive. To make sure that I put this in a container, and this grows very wild. It gets everywhere. This spotted wild bergamot bee balm, as it always called, is a very, very invasive plant if you do not put it in a pot, but it has so many good medicinal uses that it's worth growing. It's part of the mint family. It gets really tall, really big. The stems are thick. The roots are deep. So make sure you put this one in a pot. But like I said, it has a variety of uses. It's good for bringing in the bees. This is a great bee magnet, butterfly magnet. It also brings in hummingbirds to your garden, and it's great for creating perfume. So this bee balm has a lot of great uses, but be careful with it. Next, I have 2 types of basil. I have the Genovese basil and the Italian large leaf basil. How do you say that, Sadie? Genovese. The Genovese basil and the Italian large leaf basil. I have 2 types of basil, great varieties. Okay, then I have borage. Borage is also very, very invasive. I put this in bold red letters on my spreadsheet and in my notes to put this in a container. Borage is also a bee magnet. Bees love borage. Adding it in a garden. Make sure with this one though too, As it ages and it gets old, you cut the seeds before they drop. Otherwise, it's a self-seeder. It will spread everywhere. It will self-seed all over your garden, and it overtakes whatever it's planted next to because it's such an invasive crop. But borage is good for a lot of stuff. It helps cucumber. It has like a cucumber flavor. You can eat it too. It will self-seed, like I said, and it's great if you put it with strawberries because it increases the yield of the strawberries. So this is a good plant as well. It's a herb. I think borage is considered an herb and a flower, so you can eat it. All right. Next, we have caraway seeds. You can smell these through the packet. This pack smells very, very strong. This I'm also doing a container. It attracts hoverflies and wasps and lady beetles to the garden. This caraway seeds attracts beneficial insects, and you want them to come into your garden to help you with your beneficials. So caraway seeds is a great spice and herb, but it's also beneficial to your garden as far as bringing in the beneficial insects. Next, we have German chamomile. This is a pretty flower as well as a good medicinal herb. The chamomile, as a lot of ladies know, are good for cramping on your menstrual cycle. It has a beautiful calming scent. It has these beautiful yellow and white flowers. And it can be expensive if you get it in the herbal store or natural store, but it makes a great tea, and it's good, good medicinal to have in your repertoire seeds. Okay, next we have chevron. Okay, and we have a curled chevron. So this is a curled chevron. It's called the French parsley. You use it the same way you would use parsley. You can put it in your stews, your soups, whatever you put parsley in, you can put this French chevron in, and it has a flavor just like parsley. All right, next is chicory. Chicory was used as a coffee substitute during the Depression, and I got mixed information on this when I looked it up. Some say that the roots are edible, and other websites says that the roots are not edible. So I have no idea which one it is, but I know during the Great Depression they would dry out the chicory, ground it up, and use it as a coffee substitute. But for me, this is a good pollinator attractor, so that's why I want to grow it in my garden. So I was trying to bring in the good pollinators. Okay. Chives, you put that on everything. You put it on potatoes and whatnot. So, and then soups. So I got two types of chives. I got your regular common chive, and then I got your garlic chive. And most people know what chives are. They don't really need a lot of explanation, but they grow good in the garden. And chives are also in the allium family, so they're good to interplant with things to help others grow. But I love chives. I'll be growing a lot of these. Next, we have cilantro. No explanation needed. Most people know what cilantro is, but after you grow the plant and it goes to seeds, the seeds become coriander seeds. So you get double duty out of this planting. Not only will you get the beautiful leafy cilantro, but you'll get the coriander seeds that you can grow in your garden as well. And then you take the coriander seeds, put them back in the ground, and you get more cilantro. So, great plant. Next is culantro. Now, culantro and cilantro is not the same thing. Culantro is a Mexican heirloom. It has more variety. It has a stronger, more pungent flavor than cilantro. You use it in small amounts in like hot dishes and marinades and soups and Mexican cooking. And it has like long serrated leaves, but it is not the same as cilantro. Culantro and cilantro are two different things. All right, but great plant. Next is cumin, and this is another one you can smell it really strong through the packet. Cumin you use in everything. I use it in a lot of my beans. Cumin, I know I use this in my pinto beans in my stews and things like that. And some pastries, I use a little pinch of cumin. So it's great to have, and this is a normal herb you get from the grocery store, so I want to grow that in my garden as well. Next is dill, and I got two types of dill. I got a boutique dill, and I got a Mammoth Long Island dill. And most people know what dill is. Dill is good for everything. You just, especially when you're making pickles, you're going to be canning pickles, you're going to put a little dill in there as well. All right, so I have a lot here, so I need to band some of these up. Okay. So I will band these up. All right, so next we have fenugreek. Now, fenugreek is a unique plant. Fenugreek is a delicious green. It has edible seeds, and it's used in traditional Indian cuisine, and it has like a strong, like curry taste. And you can put it in Indian flatbreads and some of the main Indian dishes. Some people use the fenugreek like coffee. I wouldn't do that. But it also has a caramel maple scent. It's really, really strong. You can like smell it. I wish we had smell-o-vision. You can smell it through the laptop. And then for herbalism, for medicinal uses, you can use it for digestion and lactation, they say, in some nursing mothers. But you have to consult your own doctor on that. But I know a lot of women use fenugreek to help with lactation when they're nursing. All right. So I put that in my repertoire as well. Okay, let's see what we got here next. We got some feverfew, and I love this. Doesn't this look pretty with the yellow petals? Okay, feverfew is like, it's a lemony yellow, as you can see. And a lot of people use this for our cut flowers, and they also use it as a border plant. It's a good hardy perennial in the daisy family. And it also is used in landscaping and has long-lasting boosts, but it's a good herb. It's a very good herb to have in your garden. If you cut it back as you harvest it to dry it out, it's going to rebloom, and it's very top drawing. So feverfew is a great plant to have. Hyssop. This is that biblical hyssop that I always like to joke around about and talk about hyssop. Hyssop is biblical. If you don't know your Bible, then you don't know about that hyssop. But I love hyssop. I'm going to put it in the garden. It is a container. I'm definitely putting this in the container as well. It has like a combination of licorice, basil, and lemon smell and taste to it. You can dry this out and make a good tea with it. You could add it to fruit salads and drinks and things like that. And it's a good medicinal herb to have in your repertoire as well. Okay. Next we have lavender, I think. And I have two types of lavender. I have the common English lavender. Oops, sorry. And I also have the Munstead lavender here. And both of these came from In My Gardener. Lavender is a common herb. Most people are very familiar with it. It produces a beautiful flower. It's a beneficial pest magnet. It makes great potpourri. It's good for soap making. It's good for floral arrangements. It's good for everything. And it's perfect for putting in the garden because, like I said, it attracts the beneficial plants, and that's what you want in your garden. You want a garden full of beneficials to bring in the bees and the bugs that kill the good bugs that kill the bad bugs. So put lots of lavender in your garden as well, and I have two types here. Okay, next is sweet marjoram. Marjoram is a common herb. I have 2 packs here from In My Gardener. It's a tender herb. You strip it off, you dehydrate it in your dehydrator, but you're going to get a lot of years out of this marjoram. I put marjoram in a lot of things: roasts, meats, soups, casseroles, things like that. So I will dry this out at the end of the season and put this in my pantry. Marjoram is a common herb, so most people are familiar with this. All right, then we have the marshmallow plant. This is how you make homemade marshmallows. So most of us were familiar with Jet Puff marshmallows. We know what that is. We put it in our Rice Krispie treats all the time. This is the marshmallow plant. It's a native of Egypt, and its leaves are edible, from what I heard. They use it as a vegetable, but then you cook it and you boil it, and it gives you that marshmallowy type of content, and then you can whip it and create marshmallows. And then it also has a ton of medicinal properties, so you can use marshmallow for a lot. So this is a great plant to have in your medicinal repertoire as well. All right, then we have lemon mint, and I'm still missing spearmint and peppermint. All of those were sold out. So the spearmint was sold out, the peppermint was sold out, so I got what I could, and that was the lemon mint. It's an Italian, not Italian herb, but this is just a regular lemon herb. It produces these beautiful purple flowers as shown here. They bring in the pollinators too, and you crush the leaves to release the lemony scent, but when you dry it, the scent comes in, and you can also use this in tea as well. All right, so next I have oregano. I have two types, but they're basically the same. One is a Greek, one is an Italian, and I have the Italian oregano and the oregano Varieties, and they're both oreganos. Everybody know what you put oregano in Italian cooking, you put it in everything. So I got two varieties of this. Okay, next is parsley, and I have a few parsley. Okay, so the first parsley I have is Giant of Italy parsley. This is a large size parsley, and it grows really big, but it grows really well. Triple curl parsley, and I have a dark green flat leaf parsley as well that I've added to my collection of seeds. All right, next we have rosemary. Rosemary is a common herb. Most people are familiar with the rosemary herb. You grow this. It grows very prolific. It's easy to grow. It's probably one of the easiest herbs to grow in your garden. Rosemary is good for roasting. If you ever roasted a turkey or a chicken for Thanksgiving, put that rosemary with it with some lemon, some thyme, put it up in that chicken cavity and put it in your butter and make a compote. Have some good eats. All right, next is sage. Sage is a broadleaf sage, is the kind I got, and it's a very familiar herb. Again, you use it at Thanksgiving. You put it on your turkeys. It's great for your dressings and your stuffings, making vinegars. I plan on containering this as well. Next is the toothache plant. Now the toothache plant is a good plant, but people grow it for good and bad reasons. People grow it for their not so good properties where they're trying to basically get high off of it, and other people grow it for medicinal uses where they're using it for help with digestion, and then they also use it as it will help with your tooth. So if you have a toothache, it'll help you with any toothaches you have. It's called spilanthes, but it's also commonly known as the toothache plant. It grows with these beautiful yellow, like button-like flowers, and it has very natural properties that will numb the tongue and mouth to ease discomfort. And like I said, it's good for, you want to make sure you put this in a container or a pot, because it will get away from you and it will grow like a crazy weed. So make sure you containerize this one. We have Russian tarragon. Most people are familiar with tarragon. It's a common herb used in most kitchens. Next we have common thyme. Thyme is used in most kitchens. Most people are familiar with thyme. I plan on drying out the leaves in my dehydrator and storing this away in my pantry. Okay, next I have common yarrow. This is a beautiful plant. It has these tiny little petite white flowers with petite yellow stems. This is good as an herb for colds and fevers and wounds. It's easy to grow. It's a wildflower, so you want to make sure you containerize this as well. It attracts butterflies like crazy, and some people use it in their cut flower bouquets, but I'm not trying to do it for that purpose. I need it for the medicinals and what it adds to the garden as far as the attracting the beneficial bees. All right, so that's it for our herbs. Let's get those bound up. And put away. Okay. So then we're going to our leeks and our lettuces. So we got our leeks here. Yeah. So we're going to our leeks, and I'll bring up the lettuces. I have quite a few lettuces. All right. So first we have 3 types of leeks. Let me get them where you can see them. All right. I have the American flag leek. I have the Artichoke leek, and I have the Jaune de Poitou. What is it? Jaune du Petit? Jaune du Poitou. My daughter's very good at these types of things. Jaune du Poitou. So I have these 3 types of leeks. The first is American flag leek. It is the most common type of leek. They're all basically the same with slight taste differences. But this is the classic leek. Most leeks that you find at your grocery store. It's light onion taste. It's in the allium family. So I add this to my beefs, my stews. And if you ever watch my working man beef stew recipe, these are the types of leeks I use in that recipe, and I'll pop that up on the screen here. But that working man beef stew recipe, this is with the leeks that are in there. All right, and then this one grows a little taller and thinner leek. It's a classic leek as well, but you know, it tastes just like the other one. And then this leek here has like yellow and green leaves that don't go as dark as the leaves on here, but it's a delicious leek as well. So I was interested in trying this one, so I added this one to my repertoire as well. All right, so those are my leeks. Next, I'm gonna go through my lettuces, and I have quite a few of them. So I'm gonna go through these pretty quick because lettuce is lettuce, and it doesn't take a lot of explaining on lettuce. I have arugula. I have Aunt May's Bib lettuce. I have black-seeded Simpson lettuce. This one grows like a tree, like a stalk, like a tall tree stalk. So I'm interested to see this one. This one I have never grown before in my garden. So I'm interested to try this black-seeded Simpson lettuce. I have a butter crunch lettuce. Oh yeah, see? This is an example of me overbuying again. I have 4 of these butter crunch lettuces at 1,000 seeds per pack. So I have 4,000 butter crunch lettuce seeds. That's why the spreadsheet comes in handy. Make sure I don't reorder this again. Okay. And then I have a Great Lakes crisp head. This has a looser head of ball head of lettuce. So I got that. I got some Pink Star endive. And I got some Fennel mariachi endive. How do you say that, Sadie? Fennel endive. So I got that. And then I got some Gold Rush lettuce. And let's see here. I got some Grand Rapids leaf lettuce. And I got your classic iceberg lettuce. And last but not least, I got your oak leaf lettuce. All right, so those are all the lettuces. And like I said, I got quite a few of them. So we're going to band those up as well. All right, next we're going to get into our melons. And I got quite a few melons. All right. So for our melons, I'm going to go through those pretty quick, but let me get them in order here for you. So the first melon I got is an Amish melon, and it has the orange flesh and the smooth and cracked ribbing. It's going to be a delicious. It's very sweet melon, and it grows to about 4 to 7 pounds. Okay, this Chantres melon. This is an orange melon with the green and white outer shell, and it grows to about 2 pounds. According to my notes, it grows to about 2 pounds, and they said one fruit is perfect for 2 people. So that's the Chanterelle melon. Next we have the Eden Gems. Eden Gems have the green fresh with the cracked ribbed melons and skin, and it says it grows to about a softball size with the netted fruits, and it has about 1 pound. Grows to about 1 pound, 1 to 3 pounds, and it is pale orange flesh. It's juicy and it's sweet, and it says it has like a spicy flavor, or the green flesh, and it has a spicy flavor. Okay, next for melons, I have the Edisto 47 melon. It was nothing special about this. This is a basic classic cantaloupe, medium-sized fruit, sweet flavors. Nothing special about this. Just a classic cantaloupe. Grows to about 3 to 5 pounds. Next, we have the emerald green melon. Classic melon again, but it has a darker green outer shell, and it grows to about 12 inches in diameter. So this is a bigger melon, and it grows to about 4 to 5 pounds on this one. Okay, next we have our Hale's Best jumbo cantaloupe. This is a big cantaloupe. It's also considered a muskmelon, so that's important about this one. This one is a muskmelon. This one gets very sweet and very orange, so that's a basic melon on that one. Next is the honey rock melon. I have this variety as well. Medium-sized fruit, about 3 to 4 pounds. Basic melon, and it's great for small gardens because it doesn't get that big, but it's heavy for size once it develops fully. And next is the orange flesh honeydew melon. So we have the orange flesh honeydew melon, and it grows to 5 to 10 pounds. So this can grow up to be about a 10-pound melon, which is very big. And then it grows very strong. So I'm missing one. Okay, here we go. I was missing the other Minnesota midget. So our next and final melon is the Minnesota midget. And it is a basic melon. It's specialized to Minnesota, which I love. And it's a personal small size cantaloupe. It's ideal for small gardens. If you want to grow a melon and you want to grow it in a small garden, this is ideal for that. Alright, so those are all of my melons, and I will get those bound up as well. Okay. Over here out the way. Can you come grab those so they don't fall? Okay. So while Mercedes is getting those, I'm going to get into my okra. I got 2 types of okra. And I got the crimson spineless and the red burgundy spineless. And both of these are spineless. Both of these are classic okras. The difference is this grows with nice green stalks, and this one grows with hardy, skinny, red, bright red burgundy stalks. This one grows into like a tree, and this one grows into like a bush. So this is the red burgundy okra, and I got the crimson spineless. These are the 2 types of okra that I got. So next we have our onions, and I have quite a few onions. So our first onion I have is a onion flat of Italy onion. It's a red onion, and it's an intermediate day onion. And if you don't understand the concept of intermediate day onions, I'll insert that here and explain it a little bit. Okay, so now that you understand the concept of short day, intermediate day, and long day onions. This particular flat of Italy onion is a very delicious red onion, and it's an old Italian variety. It has a red, like cipollini type flat gourmet shape to it. It's bright red in color, and it's perfect for either fresh eating or cooking. So I got that onion. And then I have the red Florence onion. It's a tubular shaped onion. As you can see, it's a traditional Italian variety. It has a beautiful, as you can see here, long bottle shaped bulb to it. Its flavor is mild and sweet, and it's best for fresh eating. It's a long day onion as well. Okay. Next, I have a red burgundy onion. This is a short day variety. It is basically a low maintenance onion. Doesn't require a lot of special attention to grow well, and it has the deep purplish color to it. The bulb size gets around to 3 or 4 inches when fully matured, and it has a very intensive flavor, and it's a short day variety. Okay. The red Wethersfield onion. The red Wethersfield onion is a long day onion. It has dark red color as well. It has large flattened globes and red skin, mildly kind of like pungent flavor, and like I said, it's a long day onion, and it's delicious as well, so I added that. And then I have a ruby red onion, and again, it's a long day onion. It's a red onion with a beautiful burgundy skin, so I have a lot of red onions. Alright, so now let's get into our scallions. So I have this Tokyo long white bunching onion. It grows to like 12 to 14 inches stalks. It will not form a big bulb like these. You know, it doesn't have a big bulb like these because it's a scallion. So scallion onions or bunching onions, depending on where you're from, they grow long, tall, and skinny, and you cut them up, and they're good for garnishes as well. So tender flavor, mild flavor, delicious. And now let's get into our yellows. The yellows were really sold out. The yellows and whites, it was really hard for me to find yellow and white onions, so I got what I could. That was in stock, because if you don't know, there's kind of like a seed shortage going on. But from what I got this Utah yellow sweet Spanish onion. It's basic yellow onion, same type that you find at the grocery store, and it's a long day variety as well, and it has a sweet flavor. Next, I have the yellow of Parma. It's a long day onion as well, and it's an Italian onion, and it's good for long-term storage. So if you want to set some onions back for the winter, this is a good one to do it with, this yellow of Parma onion, and it's delicious, mild, sweet flavor. These grow up to about 1 pound. And then you have the white sweet Spanish onion. It is also a long day onion, and it is a pure white onion. Big bulbs can reach about 3 inches in diameter. Great for salads, and it's a long day variety. So that's my onion group. So I will bunch that up along with my okra and get that bundled up and put out the way. Okay. All right, next we're going to get into our green peas. So I have 2 types of peas. I have the green arrow pea, and I have the sugar snap pea. They're basic peas. Everybody's familiar with peas. Basic market variety. And I wanted to get 2 different types to try that worked well in my zone. And these are the 2 I chose. So the peas. Alright, next we're going to get into the peppers. And I have a lot of peppers. Let's see. Yeah. So The Alma paprika pepper. This is a very short, like almost like clementine size pepper. It's good for dehydrating and making paprika. So that's why I got this Alma paprika pepper. And it's like a Hungarian paprika as well. So I got this one. Next is the Anaheim pepper. The Anaheim pepper this is a hot pepper, by the way. It's like a medium hot flavor. Excellent for roasting and drying out and grinding up. I plan to dehydrate these and reconstitute them when I'm cooking. And I also plan to dehydrate some and use some as well. This is a very large chili pepper. And it's great for a lot of good dishes. I plan on growing that one as well. Then I got the Big Jim Hots. This is a nice hot pepper. This is a spicy pepper. It's a great all-around pepper. You can enjoy dried, or you can use it to make hot sauce with. So that's why I got the Big Jim pepper. All right, cayenne pepper. Most people are familiar with cayenne as a spice, so I got this one so I can dehydrate it and make cayenne pepper out of this. This is a Golden Cow Wonder Sweet Pepper. This is a yellow bell pepper. People are familiar with bell peppers, and so this is the yellow one. All right, Greg's jalapeno pepper. So I got this for the jalapeno pepper, and people are familiar with jalapenos on their nachos and their sauces and things like that. So I got some jalapeno peppers, and then I also got a jalapeno hot pepper from M.I. Gardener. So I got two types of jalapenos. I got the Craig's Grande jalapeno and the jalapeno hot from M.I. Gardener. So those are my two jalapenos. And then I got the King of the North pepper. This is a red bell pepper. This is a sweet pepper. Most people are familiar with bell peppers, and this is the red variety. All right, and then I got the Corno di Toro red pepper, and this is a bull's horn pepper, aka bull's horn pepper. And this is a Italian sweet pepper. It's great for grilling. Stuffing for roasted peppers. It has a sweet, thick wall, very flavorful, and it's a very productive plant. So I got this Corny di Toro red pepper. And then last but not least, I got the Wisconsin Lakes pepper. It's a small size pepper. It gives you about 46 ounce size fruits. It's a sweet pepper. It's a thick wall pepper. And it's very flavorful. I like it, so I'm gonna try to grow it. So that ends my peppers. And next we will get into our pumpkins. Alright, so next we're going to get into our pumpkins and our squashes. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, we have pumpkins, squashes left. We got tomatoes, turnips, and a whole lot of melons. All right, so let's get into this. So we'll get into our pumpkins next. And what I think I'm gonna do, let's grab this first. Okay. So for our pumpkins, we're gonna start with our Connecticut field pumpkin. And this is a good carving pumpkin. If you want to grow some pumpkins for carving, jack-o'-lanterns, that type of thing. This Connecticut field pumpkin yields like a 20 pound, I'm sorry, is a big pumpkin. It yields a 20-pound pumpkin. It has a dark, deep orange and ribbed skin. It's ideal for cooking as well, so you can cook this pumpkin. And it's delicious. And this is a field type pumpkin. Next is the Howden pumpkin. This is a field pumpkin as well, or in the field category. And it is one of the most grown popular pumpkins in the world. It yields a 15 to 20 size pumpkin as well. All right, and I have 4 of the Howden pumpkins because again I accidentally over ordered, So I have that spreadsheet now to prevent me from doing that in the future. So I have 4 Howling Pumpkin packets, and they have 15 seeds each. So it's 60 seeds on that one. Okay, so next is the Jack B. Littles. The Jack B. Littles are a cute, petite type pumpkin. These will grow to be about 3 to 4 pounds each. This is a very prolific plant. You will get a lot of pumpkins out of this. Each plant will probably give you 10 to 15 pumpkins. This is a culinary pumpkin. You can cut them and roast them and stuff them. They're excellent for like little tiny soup bowls. This is a very versatile plant, but this is a culinary pumpkin for eating, as opposed to the filled pumpkins that you can eat, but these are sweeter and tender. Okay. All right, we have our jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. These are big pumpkins as well. They grow up to be about 20 pounds each. This is one of the largest filled pumpkins you can get, so I wanted to have that in my stock. It's a thick, deep orange pumpkin as well, so also a filled pumpkin. Our next type of pumpkin is the Cinderella pumpkin. This pumpkin grows big, large, and flat, but this is a culinary pumpkin. This pumpkin will grow anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds. It has a super thick skin, and you have to be careful when cutting them open because the skin is so thick. They also store for a long time. So if you're into canning your pumpkin, this will sit on the shelf and give you a couple of months to work up to build through your canning sessions. So this is a good canning pumpkin and a culinary pumpkin for eating, and it's also known as the Cinderella pumpkin because it's shaped like the wheels of Cinderella's coach. So this is a good canning pumpkin. This winter luxury pumpkin is gorgeous. It has like a tan silvery color to it. It is a culinary pumpkin as well. It's perfect for pies. It grows to about 6 to 9 pounds each. It's delicious. It's one of the most sought after pumpkins in baking because of the fiberless flesh. And if you ever made a pumpkin pie or a sweet potato pie, you know you have to whirl it with the mixer to get out the strings. This one doesn't have the strings, so this variety people grow for baking pies because of the fibrous flesh, and it's easy to blend. It has a creamy texture. So excellent pumpkin pie. So those are my pumpkins. Next, we're going to get into my squashes, which are still in the same pumpkin family. Pumpkins and squashes are in the same family. So this is an Amish pie squash. I really wanted to get this one. I haven't grown this one before. This will be my first time growing this one. This one has a pale orange flesh, measures up to about 5 inches thick, has large fruits that can weigh from 60 to 80 pounds. Extra thick walls, perfect for making pies and freezing. So I'm interested to see how this Amish pie squash turns out. All right, next is a buttercup squash. This is a delicious squash. I've eaten and grown these before. Produces 3 to 4 pound fruits. You can get about 6 to 7 fruits per plant. It has a dark green flesh with a buttery orange, sweet, tender squash filling inside. It's stringless, so that's good too, so you don't have to spin it with the hand mixer to get all the strings out. And it's good for cutting open, scooping out the insides, and puts something in there and stuffing it and baking it. All right. Another squash I have is the Table King squash. This is an acorn squash. It's delicious as well, and it probably give you around 5 to 8 pounds. Not 5 to 8 pounds, about 3 to 4 pounds of size squash. It's delicious. You can roast this. I mainly roast this squash, And I did a stuffed acorn squash one Christmas. What was that Christmas I did that? I did a stuffed acorn squash with like a cranberry dressing. It was delicious. It was delicious. We tore that down. That was good for that. All right. And then next we have our Waltham butternut squash. This is a classic variety butternut squash. I grow this all the time. This is very prolific. You'll get a lot of squashes off of every plant. It's a good old-time classic favorite. It has a rich color, like a light orange color flesh, and it's great for baking. Baked butternut squash, can't go wrong. And then I got two of the Witham butternut squash. I got one from Seed Savers Exchange and one from Baker Creek. Okay, next we have our zucchini. And so I have a Black Beauty zucchini squash. This is your classic zucchini squash. It's a firm and tender squash. You want to get it before it gets too big. It has a dark green glossy straight zucchini, and it can grow up to the size of a baseball bat, but you don't want to. It gets tough. The bigger it gets, the tougher zucchini gets. So you want to get them when they're young and tender. So I have that Black Beauty summer squash. I have the Fort Hook zucchini squash. So those are the two varieties of squash I have, the Black Beauty and the Fort Hook zucchini squash. The Fort Hook is also a classic dark green straight squash with a slight curve. It's tender, it freezes well, it dehydrates well, and it grows on a bush plant. This one bushes. So great squash to have. So those are my pumpkins and squashes. So I will gather all of that together and get it banded up. I think I'm gonna do it like this. Get all of the MI Gardeners together. Okay. Right, put that to the side, and then I'm gonna get my bigger packets together. Okay. All right, next we're going to talk about our tomatoes. So my tomatoes, I got quite a few. I have the Amish paste. A paste tomato is great for canning, sauces, pasta sauce, tomato paste, ketchup. Amish paste is the classic. You can't go wrong with that. It's a thick wall Roma type tomato, so lots of good flavor. All right. Next I have the Black Brandywine tomato. This is a deep dark red tomato. Has excellent flavor. Great on a sandwich. You put this Brandywine tomato on like a grilled cheese and ham sandwich with a slice of this Brandywine and some Grey Poupon mustard. Oh my God, you talking about some good eats. Yum. Okay, then I got the Brandywine red and the Brandywine yellow. So those are my three Brandywines. I have the red, the black, and the yellow of the Brandywine tomato. Next I have a Chadwick cherry tomato. These are small little petite tomatoes. A size cherry tomatoes is your basic cherry tomato that you can get from grocery stores. Delicious, about 1 ounce cherries. Great for the home gardener. It has large vines and it produces a high yield. This is also supposed to be a disease resistant variety. Okay, so next on my list is aromas. Again, it's like the Amish paste. Is great for canning, great for sauces, pasta sauce, tomato sauces. So I will use this to can up and to put my sauces back to the side, but it's a classic Roma tomato. Okay, and this is a cherry Roma tomato. It's kind of a mix of a cherry tomato and a Roma tomato. Small, great for salads. So if you ever go to Costco and get that big thing of looks like grape tomatoes, this is that type style tomatoes. It's a classic tomato. Has a lot of yield, strong growing. You're going to get some production out of this. And because it's aroma cherry mix, use it for sauces too. Pasta, tomato, salads, fresh. Cucumber salad with a little tomatoes with a little vinaigrette. That'd be bomb as well. All right. And these San Marzano tomatoes, people covet these tomatoes as they're supposed to be the best tomato around, especially for a paste tomato with great textures. A lot of chefs think very highly of these tomatoes. You get a lot of yield out of this plant too as well. So it's perfect for, again, canning, pasta sauces and all of that, and fresh eating. This is an interesting tomato. This is the Triple L crop tomato, but it's also called the Italian tree tomato. This tomato grows to a tree. It grows up as a plant, but the plant looks a whole lot like a tree. If I can find a picture, I'll insert it here. This plant is very productive. It's traditionally grown as a greenhouse tomato, but it also has a lot of success outdoors. It's a deep, red, juicy, small seeded tomato, and has great acidity. It's insanely productive, and it will give you clusters of 3 to 5 tomatoes weighing about 12 to 16 ounces each. You will be picking these until you're tired or your tree dry, or your winter comes and your tree dies. This is a very productive tomato, and it's called Triple L crop or Italian tree tomato. Okay, and our last classic tomato is the Wisconsin 55 tomato. It's the standard tomato that you see in the grocery store, so I wanted to make sure I had some of those as well. And this is an indeterminate. Oh wow, I forgot to tell you the determination of the tomato, so I have to go back to it real quick. I'm sorry. The Amish paste tomatoes, that's an indeterminate. The Brandywines are all indeterminate tomatoes. So all 3 of the Brandywines are indeterminate. All right. Go through the other one. Okay. The Chadwick is an indeterminate. The Roma is an indeterminate. All right. I'm sorry, the Roma is a determinate. This is a determinate tomato. And then the Cherry Roma is an indeterminate or self-determinate. The San Marzano is a semi-determinate. It will vine a little bit, but then it will stop. And then the Triple L crop is an indeterminate. This will grow like wildfire. So, and if you don't understand what determinate or indeterminate is, I'll pop something up on the screen right here. So the next plant we have, or the vegetable we have, is our purple white globe turnips. And this is an excellent turnip. I only got one variety because this is the one that worked well for my zone. Turnips are also called rutabagas. So it has a beautiful smooth white globe with a purple top. It grows about to 3 to 4 inches in diameter. And it's good. It has a sweet, mild flesh and flavor, and it's excellent. It stores very well, so if you want to put some back for the winter, that's great. And it's very delicious. So this is the turnip or the rutabaga I got. So I will bundle that with my tomatoes and set that to the side. All right, next we have our delicious watermelons, and I got quite a variety of melons. I am a watermelon fan, and I remember my mom going to the watermelon stand where I grew up, and she would get watermelons and cut them open, and they would be the sweetest variety. I don't know what variety that is, but I know the company is out of Mississippi. So I got a variety of melons that I want to try to grow in my garden, and the first one I got was the Black Diamond watermelon. Watermelons do not store long, so you need to either be juicing them or eating them not too long after you take them off the vine. But the first one I got is a Black Diamond watermelon. This is a cute small watermelon. It grows to about 20 pounds, and it's very, very tender, sweet smelling watermelon. So I'm excited about this one. Okay, and then I got the Cal Sweet watermelon. It is a short vine variety. The vines get about 14 to 18 inches long. It's perfect for gardeners who have small spaces and don't have a big plot of land for the vines just to take over your yard. So if you're looking for a watermelon with shorter vines, this is the one. You'll get about 2 to 3 fruits per vine, and this is a classic watermelon, super sweet, full of flavor, and it's an old-time classic variety watermelon. Okay, the next watermelon is a Charles Gray watermelon. As you can see, this is a long style watermelon, and it is one of the best all-American watermelons. It's a classic, it's a popular variety of watermelon. They grow long. The fruits are about 20 to 40 pounds, depending on how nutritious your soil is and how big they grow. It's very fiber-free and very tasty. It yields very good and is excellent for the home grower. So I got that one, Charleston Gray. Crimson Sweet. I've seen several people on YouTube growing these Crimson Sweets, and one thing I noticed about the Crimson Sweet on YouTube, if you take it off the vine too early, it has a nasty mealy texture. But the people who take it off the vine when it's just right, oh my God, you can see that this thing is super sweet. You can see the sweet on the laptop screen. So make sure you harvest this one when the time is right. And this one, according to my notes, is a 90-day maturity from transplant. So after you transplant it in the ground, you need a full 90 days in the ground for this one to be ripe. So don't harvest it too early, because the people who cut it open early, all they did was complain about the mealy texture. But the people who waited until it was perfectly ripe, oh, they waxed poetic about this Crimson Sweet. So I'm interested in trying that. I have 4 Jubilee packets, and this was a victim of me over ordering as well. But I have the seed inventory spreadsheet that'll keep me from doing that in the future. So these Jubilee watermelons, they grow up to be huge. You can get these up to 20 pounds if you wanted to. So I've seen people do Jubilees up to 50 pounds. But I don't need mine to be that big. It's a conic melon. Most of these are grown in the deep south. I think this is the one that my mom used to buy from the watermelon stand when I was little, because it looks very, very familiar to the ones she used to bring home. Delicious, sweet, tender, everything you want a watermelon to be, this Jubilee watermelon is it. So I'm looking forward to growing this one. All right, and then I got some of the Oh So Sweet watermelons, and this is another one. 12-inch, grows up to 12 inches in diameter. It can grow bigger if you got the right soil and fertilization. It's a delicious watermelon, and it's very productive. You'll get a lot of fruit off this plant. So if you're looking for something productive for your time, this is it. All right, and next is the Sugar Baby watermelons. I think I ordered 2, but I think I pressed 3. So I got 3 of these instead of 2. So I got an extra one. And these can grow small, round, about 8-inch melons, about 8 to 12 pounds a piece. They have a dark green flesh and a thin, hard rind. They're really delicious and sweet, and this is a very popular heirloom variety. You'll see a lot of people growing these Sugar Baby watermelons on YouTube. And the thing about watermelons is you cannot plant all of these at the same time without the proper distancing, because they will cross. And so they'll grow true to type, but if you try to save the seeds, you might get something that doesn't look like what you originally put in the ground because they're crossing up. So what watermelons are like corn. You have to really pick the variety you want to grow that year and grow just that variety if you want to keep them open pollinated and true to type. Alright guys, that ends my haul video. If you have watched to the end, you are definitely a GOAT. You are definitely about that plant life. I want to thank you for watching another Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.